Well, here we are again, around a neon cactus. There. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 32 of Around a Neon Cactus.
That's right, 32 episodes. Wow, that's a lot of work. We've been working 8 days a week.
Yeah, it's been a hard day's night. It's been so good to see all you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Yes, it's been so great to see you all. Thanks for tuning in each week. You've been giving us something to do during these crazy times.
Yeah, really odd, bizarre, strange times.
So crazy. Wild. Very odd.
Life is kinda like a magical mystery tour right now.
Yes, brother, it certainly is. That is exactly why we should play some Beatles right now.
The Fab Four?
The greatest band of all time.
Los Beatles.
The Beatles.
Let's play Get Back.
Okay, boys. Hey. 1, 2, testing 1, 2. Let's hit it.
Here we go. Whoa. Some kind of weird technical difficulties. Sorry, everybody.
That was cryptic.
That was really weird. Some real technical issues today. We should probably get our technical advisor. Let's see if we can try that again with our technical advisor, Percy.
Get back to
All right. That
Oh,
one
yeah.
went a little bit better.
Gonna do this all episode in honor of Paul McCartney. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and thank you guys. If you guys don't know, we have a new YouTube playlist up of every song that we've done on Around a Neon Cactus. So they're like little single versions. You guys can make your own playlists and just download them and subscribe and just keep streaming them all day. Why not?
That's right. We've got in the description on this very video, when you finish watching, in the top where it describes what this video is, we put a link to the YouTube playlist, and it'll bring up all the tunes right there. My dad was complaining he had no idea how to find it. So, just send us a message if you guys can't find it, but it's on our YouTube page. Type in YouTube, type in Last Bandoleros, and you'll find our page.
Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, but while we're also thanking everyone, I want to thank everyone that's been giving us stars week after week.
Yeah.
Yes. Really nice. We've been able to, get guitar strings and Jack Daniels and drumsticks with it. So we really love. All joking aside, thank you guys so much.
Marie Martinez, Justin, Lori, thank you for those stars.
Yes, thank you all so much. And so obviously, this is a Beatles episode. Right, guys?
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. And actually, thank you all for the suggestions on different artists that we should cover. And we will continue to do more artists in the future on these episodes. But this one is a tribute to one of the most influential bands of all time, the Beatles.
Hell yeah.
And it's funny. On the road, we always try to stump Emilio with a bunch of Beatles questions. So crazy Beatles questions. If you have any wild Beatles questions,
bring them on.
Yeah.
Try to stump them.
I want somebody to stump Emilio.
Yes, they could be average Beatles questions too, but the more wild and the more bizarre, the better. More obscure questions.
Yeah, I've spent most of my teenage years just reading about the Beatles and learning the songs. So good luck, guys.
Yeah. So comment now, and later on in the show, we'll ask him some, and we'll try to stump them together. But Jerry, right now, nothing's changed. Everything's going.
You know it. We're going to do a little "What's in Your Cup," and this is not only am I in the middle of Abbey Road with a margarita in my hand, got a margarita in my hand. I see our good buddy Arntz noticed that I'm in the middle of traffic here, but luckily I'm in it's quiet. It's a quiet. I guess it's in the middle of the night, so it's kind of weird. But anyway, in the UK. But we're starting with What's in Your Cup, and I figured, for the Beatles episode, I thought it'd be awesome for us to talk about when is that time. I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day, and I'll kind of start this one off. I'm drinking a mezcal margarita in honor of this episode, and talking about when is that time in our lives when we all have realized that the Beatles are freaking amazing, right? But I'm trying to think back. I was thinking back early. I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day, and it's like that moment when I realized, wow, like how badass they really are. Like how, like you said, Diego, how influential they are. And I think back to probably the mid '90s when I've heard the Beatles. We all heard the songs, right? But when the anthology came out, and two of my best friends, Gerald and Garrett, were big Beatles guys, and they really, around that time is when I really discovered it. And not until I dove into anthology did I really realize how incredible these guys are. And it was funny because I didn't know their back catalog that well, but that documentary series is what made me go back and do all that stuff. And then there was also a new song, two new John Lennon demo tunes or whatever on that, right? Is Real Love and Free as a Bird, whatever. Anyway, I think back, that's probably my most pivotal moment where I realized in the mid-'90s, boom, that's when it really hit me like, holy shit, these guys are incredible, right? But Diego, what about you, Bubba? What are you drinking, and what's that one moment where you realized like how ridiculously badass they were?
I'm glad you asked that, big dog. I'm drinking what we call here on the farm in Georgia, a Crappie Thomas.
What?
Crappie Thomas.
Yes.
What's in it?
Today's my father-in-law's birthday. His name is Thomas, but he likes crappie fishing for crappie fish. And this is a drink that he always drinks. It's cranberry juice, lemonade, and vodka.
Nice.
Yummy.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Thomas.
Yes, exactly. Dude, I think when I first realized how amazing and influential the Beatles were was around like 2000, 2001. Me and Emilio, our dad took us to see A Hard Day's Night. And around the same time, Beatles 1 had just come out. So it was all the Beatles US hits.
Right.
And I remember my mom always playing that CD. My mom was always playing that CD. And I remember as a kid, I dropped everything else I was listening to. Everything else, whether it was Blink-182 or, I don't know, Green Day, whatever was coming out at the time. And I was like, this is incredible and so much better. And it's about 30 years old or 35 years old, however. But it still felt fresh. As old as it was, it still felt so different. And then to see these 4 dudes that kind of look like each other, but they all have this different character, it's just unbelievable. And it's still so fresh now. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Yep.
Yeah. So that's when I realized that they're just the greatest. And that's why we steal from them all the time.
Yeah. Nice one. And Emilio, I'm going to go to you next. But first, I just saw a couple of questions that are coming in.
Let's stump him.
How many songs are in the total Beatles catalog?
There are about 200 Lennon McCartney songs. There's like almost 200 Lennon McCartney songs.
So the total Beatles catalog.
I don't know an exact number, but I know it's like around 200, which is crazy. I was listening to someone talk and say that every few hundred years that happens. Like someone like Mozart to have a catalog that big, still only a few of them are like, I mean, think about the Beatles. Out of 200, most people probably know at least 100 of them.
Oh,
That's incredible.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. And then one more for you before I find out what's in your cup is what year did the Beatles first play Red Rocks in Colorado?
Oh, that would be 64.
Whoa! All right. We don't have a way to fact check, but I'm going to take your word for it since
they either did it in 64 or 65. I want to say it's 64 because they were planning on doing a live record or something. I mean, they were always worried about some like crazy.
What year did you say?
64 was it?
64. Dang it!
You got it. All right, we don't stop yet. You guys keep them coming in, but Emilio, let me go to you. What's in your cup, and then what's the first moment you realized that Beatles were just incredible?
Well, I'm sitting here in Abbey Road, so I think it's very fitting I should get some tea.
Nice. You're in Studio B, I see.
Yeah, we're in Studio 2. They call it 2 there.
2, yeah, okay.
And so yeah, so my story to Diego is very similar, but I think that I've just from there we both became obsessed, and I loved everything about it. I loved the music. I loved the way they talked. I loved the way they interacted with each other. I loved the movies, which a lot of people are like, how can you sit through that? I just love it. So my favorite Beatles movie is the second movie, which is I remember watching that movie and wanting to grow my hair out, and I wanted that little cap that I got, and that movie's Help, and I think that's one of the great early Beatles songs. I think Lennon, that hat right there, Lennon would go on to say later on that was one of the few Beatles songs that he could still listen to that meant something to him. Wow, because it was a cry for help. You know, he at that time. Can you imagine just the pressure?
Right.
In the Beatles. So let's go ahead and let's play that one. You guys want to play Help?
Yeah,
let's do it.
I'd love to. That sounds enjoyable.
Help, I need somebody help, not just anybody help, you know I need someone help. When I was younger, so much younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way. But now these days are gone, I'm not so self-assured, and now I find change
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
A little help with the exclamation point.
Yeah. What a badass song. Gosh.
I love that song. That's got to be one of the top Beatles
Not
tunes.
easy to sing. Not easy to play.
Well, there's so many moving parts.
Yeah.
And
It's a
key
quilt.
changes. It's amazing. But
It's a British quilt.
But I think that's the genius of the Beatles, because it's always like you listen to it and you're like, what a simple song. And then you learn to play it and you're like, this song is really, really hard and complicated, you know?
right. It's the genius of it being complicated, but it sounding simple. You're right. It's amazing. But listen, last but definitely not the least, Derek, I want to come to you. What is in your cup? And give me your Beatles of understanding their greatness.
Yeah, well, I'm drinking some Kirkland purified water because I just played some tennis earlier today.
Nice.
Gotta hydrate.
How was the match?
It was good. I got my butt kicked, but I had some really good moments.
Nice.
So that's good. You gotta. I've tried to focus on the moment when you're playing somebody that's way better than you, like I was today.
And way older than you too.
Yeah, exactly. About 35 years older than me.
Right.
So, Beatles, I think, always liked it when I heard them. It wasn't until my early 20s when I was working with a music producer, Asaf Spector, who I recorded my 2 solo albums with. And he is a Beatles freak and a Paul McCartney freak. And the way he would kind of show me the Beatles parts and kind of break it down while we were working on my record was just opened my eyes for the first time to the depths of them. And then you guys are constantly teaching me new stuff, showing their catalog is so deep. And but they're one of those bands that you can just keep reading their book over and over, and you find new things every turn.
Yeah, what I like about that too is like it's so different. Everything is so, they never really repeated themselves, which is so cool.
Yeah.
You know.
And hard to do. It's hard not to repeat yourself, especially when you find something that works. To continue to reinvent themselves and be successful doing it was a feat that very, very few people have.
Well, they repeatedly wrote amazing songs. That's what they were able to repeat, which is what makes them the greatest.
They repeatedly kicked everyone's ass.
Exactly.
And still do.
Yeah. Also, I love the Beatles because me and McCartney have the same birthday coming up. June 18th.
That's right.
And Blake Shelton, our label mate. But that's nice to share a birthday with a Beatle.
That is.
But I think, obviously, all Bandos fans out there know we all love the Beatles. We're obviously majorly influenced by them with the harmonies and etc. And a lot of different songs you could probably hear that influence. This next song that we're going to play is maybe the biggest nod to the Beatles of all of our songs. I had this, like, the intro to the song, and then I think Amelia or Diego were like, I kind of didn't know where to go with it. You guys were like, what if we do a little Beatles yeah 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 thing in the holes, and the song kind of took off from there. It wrote itself, and we kind of have this play singing back and forth with me and Diego during the B verse.
Yeah, which is super like 1964 Hard Day's Night Beatles.
Yeah,
where Lennon and McCartney would switch during the bridge and the verses. I actually think that was the first time in that song, while we were writing that first batch of songs we wrote together. That was the first one where we started really switching.
Right.
Experimenting with who sings different parts within the same song.
And you're right. It was all inspired from those early Beatle records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Shall we
should
rock?
we
Let's rock a little Love with the Girl, shall we?
Let's rock it.
do it? What do you think? Let's enjoy it.
I'm in love with a girl, I'm on top of the world, and I wanna do something crazy. She's a regular queen, if you know what I mean. I'm so glad she's my baby. rock and we roll. She's out of control. Hallelujah, that girl's amazing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Whew, so damn fine. Now I'm out of my mind. Hallelujah, I love my baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. She comes and she goes, and she knows that I'm on my knees. She leaves me alone, and I can't take it anymore. I'm taking her all over town. My baby, she knows her way around. I can't change this feeling in my heart. Well, I'm in love with a girl, I'm on top of the world, and I wanna do something crazy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Woo, yeah, yeah, yeah. She's ready to queen, if you know what I mean. I'm so glad she's my baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Woo, yeah, yeah,
Yo, yo, yo. Right.
Oh,
A little Love of the Girl. I got to say, for those of you guys that don't know, you can also peruse our YouTube and check out the official video for Love of the Girl. One of my favorite videos that we've done. D, I thought you did a great job with that video, man. That's one of my favorites. The Honey, I Shrunk the Kids tribute to that Love of the Girl video.
Thanks.
But I want to do one more question. I thought I saw Ray ask the question that said, see if we can get Emilio on this one, is how did the Beatles get their name? Emilio, do you know how the Beatles got their name?
yes, I do. Sad. I mean, yeah, I do, of course. So John Lennon wanted a name, like they were obsessed with, which I always loved. These guys that changed music forever loved Buddy Holly, and that was one of their biggest heroes because he wrote his own tunes. So they wanted a name like the Crickets that was like a game and also an insect. So they decided Beatles and decided to spell it beat, like, beat in their music. And
Okay.
which
So it
is
was
fun.
sort of like it was Buddy Holly Crickets inspired, and except they were doing a little
They just wanted like a double little, play on the name. Yeah. Yep, I love that one. Someone asked me if I knew what their favorite drinks were. I think they loved Scotch and Coke.
Oh, yeah?
thought it was rum and coke.
Rum and Coke? No, I think it was Scotch and Coke. I think Brian Epstein might have drunk rum and Coke. But then by 67, they were just all on acid anyway.
That's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It's been very fun.
Well, thank you guys.
Yeah, I definitely think we'll have to do another Beatles episode, and we'll also do other artists. You guys keep suggesting some good ones. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Episode 32. Good job, guys.
Thanks for hanging out. Stay safe.
I'm going to go back to
Have a great week. We'll see you guys next Wednesday.
Bye.